Computer time, yeah.
Thanks. 6:01, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Could we all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for being here at our October 6th Select Board meeting. Lee, can you hear us out there okay? Everything good with the volume and sound?
Yeah, it sounds good. Can you hear me?
Wow.
Well, I didn't do that.
No, that's probably at our end, but I think it's okay now. I think that was just a little there.
Little glitch?
Yeah. There's one thing on the agenda. We were requested to switch the order of the executive session so that the Andover Fire Ambulance contract comes first, and then the T-Mobile lease comes afterwards. So if it's okay with the rest of the board, we're just going to switch those two items.
Sounds good to me.
Fine with me. Yep.
The first item on the agenda is to approve our minutes from September 15th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from September 15 as written.
Second?
Lee is the motion, and Lee Dakin's the second. Any comments, corrections,
I have none.
anything on the minutes?
I have none.
All those in favor of approving the minutes as written, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Aye. Oops.
That was just a late aye on that one. I thought.
Yeah, a late aye. I turned my volume off.
Okay, that's the September 15th minutes, and I would entertain a motion to approve our September 24th minutes.
So I make a motion to approve the September 24th minutes.
It'll be the same. It'll be Lee Dakin as the motion and Lee Gustafson as the second. Any changes, corrections, omissions, errors, anything going on with our September 24th minutes?
I have none.
I have none.
All those in favor of approving those minutes as written, please say aye.
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 All set. Next item is citizens' comments. If there was someone here that would like to address the board regarding an issue that is not on the agenda, now would be the time to do so. Are there any citizens' comments?
Well,
Hearing none, we'll go right on to old business. Julie, can you take us to our old business list?
I can. Just a few things. Act 250, last week I testified during the Act 250 appeal hearing. At the conclusion of the hearings, Judge Durgan granted all requests made by the town. So the decision, along with the draft permit, has been negotiated with A&R's counsel and has been sent back to the commission for their signature. So we should have that soon.
do you know, Julie, when? Like, how soon is soon?
I do know that the attorneys actually agreed this morning on the final language. Most of it was direct language given by the court, so there wasn't a whole lot of leeway. But in the couple areas that there was, we finally come to a conclusion on that language, so I know it has just been sent back today. I would imagine I would give it 30 days, because they're going to have to convene to sign the permit.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
One of the issues on there that I saw was the sound.
Correct. Everything we asked for, we
That's been
got.
finally worked out.
Yep, everything we asked for, we got. Yep, their ruling was overturned on many points. Public safety.
Strange trip.
It's been a long, strange journey, and it's not done yet. Anyway, so public safety building, the open house we had for the new public safety building last week, it was a big success. I think probably throughout the whole day, we had between 100, 150 people kind of flow in and out, I would say.
That's great.
A lot of positive. I didn't hear anything negative. Everything was positive. People were really excited, really proud of the building, the way it turned out. Working through some of the punch list items still. We'll have those for a while. But they have started at the highway garage. demo has taken place. Stop in if you want. That whole middle section is pretty well on its way to being gutted, and fire is kind of maneuvering itself between both sides of the building, but that building is well underway as well. And, back to the public safety building, I put it in the memo, but I wanted to point it out too, that, all three services have expressed to me their gratitude and the gratitude for the community of this new building. There's been a lot of rebuilding of all three services, has really taken place, just morale from all three services, and we're getting back into that cross-training of services. We currently have 3 individuals taking the EMT class in Londonderry, which starts tonight. I think it's tonight, actually. And then there are 13 firefighters and 2 police officers, I think that's still the number, that are registered for the in-house EMT class that we will have starting mid-January.
Great.
So a lot of interest. The service is going to look very different, come midsummer next year. So really positive for Chester. Highway garage I talked about. So grants, we were awarded the recreation grant that we applied for the skate park. We budgeted 10 and the grant was for 10. So next year, in 2022, we will have $20,000 to spend on repairs and upgrades to the skate park. So Matt and I will be working on what exactly that looks like. There's also the Bylaw Modernization Grant has opened up through the state. This is a brand-new program run through ACCD as well. We are feeling, this is a cap of $25,000 plus a $2,500 town match. This grant would be perfect to help the Planning Commission get through some of their struggles that they're having. This would allow us to bring in regional planning, who is helping us, but they're helping us at no cost. So they obviously have limited hours at that rate. So this would get them the hours that they need to come in, help with some rewrites, certainly help us focus on the housing issue, help us focus on village revitalization. So that will be coming to you guys for signature and approval on the first meeting in November. Arpa funding, I have a call out to Ramus and Gary Gibbs from People's Bank. The town has received, as you well know, the first half was $450,000. We've received that this year. We have a lot of money just sitting. And we are allowed with the ARPA money to invest. And that the interest earned on that investment, the town is able to use for whatever purpose it chooses. So it feels like, since we're not doing anything with it right away, I'm going to talk to Gary about what are our options. I'll come back to you with what are some options that we have to maybe gain some kind of return on that money without locking it. We obviously don't want to bind ourselves. So, but there is a fair amount of cash just kind of sitting.
And that is something that they would allow?
Yes. Yes, and I've heard it a couple times, and I verified Monday. Yes.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a dicey thing, because, I mean, you can invest it and actually end up with less than you started with, and they're okay with that.
Well, that's where I don't think you can invest in anything. I think that there are probably parameters. So I will be talking to Gary about that. Because I would say if you invested in lost, then your town is on the hook to make up that difference. Yeah. So we don't want to invest in anything high risk, but certainly we could do something like what we're doing with economic development funds right now.
Something conservative.
Something conservative, but it's yielding a slow, it's better than the 5 cents it's going to earn in the bank account.
Yeah.
So I'll come back to you with whatever we come up with. And then library work, so the Control Technologies has completed the work on the library heating system. They're going to come back with a proposal of a permanent thing. There are like multiple systems that have all been hobnobbed together over the years. They've got it working, but it's not ideal. So part of the ARPA money, this will be one thing that we could potentially use it for. ARPA funding will allow payment, or will allow an expenditure of ventilation systems, and this would certainly tie into that. would be a good use for that.
Yeah.
So they're getting me some cost. Again, we'll be back with that. But for now, the heating system at the library is working much better than it has in a few years. So they're very happy.
We do have eventually going to have a meeting scheduled with the public regarding the ARPA funds. And
Yes, I'm thinking.
possible ideas.
Yeah, I'm thinking in November, maybe early December. There is no hurry, and really, one of the things I've learned this week in a lot of the conferences I was in, a lot of towns are just kind of taking a step back. We have until 2024 to obligate 2026 to spend. So
Right.
we've got time. And there's a lot of nuances. I mean, federal money's a pain anyways. We're fortunate in that I've done a lot of work with federal funds, but there's a lot of nuances to this.
A lot of bookkeeping,
There's a lot of loopholes in areas where you could fail in this. It's a little concerning with the ARPA funding. So a lot of municipalities are kind of just taking a step back and letting things flush itself out and coming up with ideas, but not really spending that money quite yet. And so I think we should do the same thing, but I feel that it needs to be very public. Whatever we do, now is a good time to get public input. That's what I should say. Now is a good time to get that public input. Yeah.
So can I just chime in on something, Julie, about the public safety building?
Yeah.
I talked to a lot of personnel, emergency services personnel while I was there. And everybody I talked to was everybody was happy to be there and very grateful for the community support that was shown for that. And it was astounding to see the excitement that people have to be in that new building. So it wasn't without its controversies to get there, but certainly well worth it.
It was well worth it. And there will be things coming. You know, we've had conversations, the three departments, about how can we best utilize that building? I mean, not just to house fire, police, ambulance, but what are some things we can do? You know, can we open the doors once a year and have some educational trainings in a big community potluck? I don't know. You know, there's all kinds of different things and some ways to really make that a community space. So they are all very excited to be there, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything else, Julie?
No, that's it for me.
Any board members have any issues with old business or anything they need to bring up, talk about, or anything?
I have nothing.
I have nothing.
Oh, you know, one thing maybe just to acknowledge, Fall Festival happened since
Oh, yeah.
we've met.
Yep.
And that was, kudos to all those people that really worked really hard to make that. It really was a great event. We had a lot of people in town, They changed things, some things worked, some things didn't. But it really was a great event and good to see in town. So just thank you to all those people that worked really hard, really hard to pull that off.
And
So
it is a lot of hard work.
it's a lot of work.
I would also like to thank, there's some people don't know, and I'm not going to mention any names, but there was a couple of people that put in quite a bit of money to make that happen.
Yes, they did, their
Out
own
of their
private
own
money.
pocket, So
Yeah.
that is greatly appreciated for
With-
those.
Yes, with no return. There was no return to them.
Exactly.
It was,
It was well attended. It was
it was a lot of people.
folks from everywhere, beautiful
lot of
weather
people
for
there.
2 days.
Yep.
I know,
We had good weather
Yeah.
both days.
I know the high school kids that were doing their thing there had really good amounts of money that they got in for their different
Kids
grades and
did.
stuff like that. I think the fire department did really great as far as their,
Sold out of almost our entire weekend's food on Saturday.
really.
We had
Wow.
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 Yeah.
Every time I went by the booth at the fire department, there was a line there, and the guys behind there were just like yelling out codes or something, and the burgers and stuff were flying out of there. It was nonstop. It was like
Yeah.
unreal. But it was a great event.
It was a great event. So I just wanted to take the time to thank all those people. I know they're not on, but
No, and then
Just all-
last weekend was the Wheels in the Fields.
Wheels in the Field. And I wasn't around a lot. Was it well attended? I haven't talked to Lee.
They sold out on their BMW part where they have the road rallies and things like that. And they said actually if they had more people that would volunteer to help lead those groups, they would even have more people. But they're limited by how many people are in a group, and I think they need like 2 people to help lead the group. And
I think,
Got to be a BMW, Jeff.
no,
He's a Harley boy.
no, there you go, Harley Davidson. Actually, Lee's trying to do things to build on that. There's a BMW club, and they're talking about once a month breakfast meetings down to the Legion to keep things going for people, so
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to make it happen.
Yeah,
They're also making sure they were talking amongst each other that they don't schedule the events on the same weekend.
right.
Because the volleyball league had their tournament on Fall Festival also.
Yes.
which
There was a lot going on
And
that
they're,
weekend.
they're getting more and more popular, and they're getting bigger, and they're getting more known in southern Vermont as the place for volleyball.
That's great.
For the tournaments, for
great.
the league that they have going all summer and stuff. And that the new field that they have is really working out well for them there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Love it. Good, good.
All right, on to the next agenda item, which is our hazard mitigation plan. And it's a renewal. I guess the department heads go through this, you go through this
So-
to make sure it's all correct.
So you saw this plan a month or so ago. It hasn't changed since then. What's happened is it's been sent to FEMA, gotten their initial approval, and now we sign off and submit. But this is a document that we go through every 5 years. This is the big one. So this one is reviewed by Public Safety and Highway, and we work with Regional Planning. Cindy Ingersoll is on Zoom, I see. Regional Planning is the one that does the real work with this. We just are given drafts to review, make sure things make sense.
Specific information is
Correct.
correct.
Right, exactly. Yep. So we are all satisfied and happy with this document, feel it represents Chester well and areas of hazard concern, and so we're just ready for approval and final submission to FEMA.
So we would need a motion to adopt it.
A motion to adopt and to, nope, you all signed, never mind, just a motion to adopt. Yeah.
So I'll make a motion to adopt the local hazard mitigation plan as presented to us.
I'll second it.
I'll second.
Sorry, Lee. Lee Gustafson's the motion and Jeff Holden's the second.
Good.
This is the local hazard mitigation plan dated 9/17/2021, and it's for the years 2021 to 2026. Any discussion on this? Any questions? Any concerns? All those in favor of approving the local hazard mitigation plan, please say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion passes.
Good?
All set.
Yep.
Just some housekeeping for our next agenda item, errors and omissions regarding a parcel ID 625038. And there's a correction because of a veteran's exemption from a previous owner was inadvertently not removed when transferred. So this is just housekeeping and it's
It is.
just signatures.
Yep.
And the next item is a cemetery deed. Thanks. I kind kind of like getting up, stretching my legs, except this meeting's been pretty short, so it's not too bad. Next item on our agenda is suggestions for future agenda items or new business. Anybody have anything they would like to have on future agendas? Or any new business? No? It's just going to zip along. All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to, we switched these around for an executive session regarding the Andover Fire Ambulance contract. I would entertain a motion to enter executive session for the purpose of discussing the contract.
So moved.
Second.
Lee Gustafson's the motion. Lee Dakin's the second. Any discussion on this? No. All those in favor of entering executive session, please say aye.
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 Okay. I don't.
We just got to give it a minute.
Yeah.
How will you let me know when you're done?
I'm sorry, Maddie?
How,
Thank you, Maddie.
how will you let me know that you're done? One of the main reasons I'm here is to kind of observe how you do executive session on a similar topic.
Sure.
So we do not make mistakes.
Sure?
So how, you stamp on the floor?
I can run down.
Okay.
I can run down. I think I believe there's still a bench in the hallway, or you can hang out outside, whatever, and I can come find you.
Okay,
When we go
great.
back into regular session, we'll come and get you.
All
I'll come
right,
and get
thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a question, Lee? Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, could I be in the waiting room, please?
Sure.
And
Thank you.
Matt Wilson needs to be invited.
Oh,
in.
yeah, and to include Matt Wilson.
Yeah,
Should have
so,
been part of
and
the-
Julie Hantz also.
And Julie Hantz.
So we're inviting in Matt Wilson and Julie Hantz.
Right.
Okay.